lot of people out there not putting out the knowledge or the wisdom on what happens if you're a spiritual person that's going to get with another spiritual person. A lot of people out there are lost when it comes to
October 29th, 10:39 a.m.
But when it comes to a deeply evolved spiritual connection, you're going to be in that connection. Some of you out there may have learned your lessons already that you could have been in these relationships and you couldn't uncover what the hell it was that was keeping you connected to it. A lot of you out there, before you even become spiritually awakened, you had a spell work placed on you by people that already knew what they were doing. They was already experienced at destroying people and trying to get people connected to them, but you was one that had some type of vision. Now, I'm going to go ahead and break it down in details and tell y'all exactly why you felt uncomfortable when somebody cheated on you out there. And you felt something going on in your soul, like you felt something going on with your intuition. What happened was your spirit was seeing that happen from the spirit world because you was connected from the crown chakra. You had a connection to the spirit world. You didn't even know that back then. Pay attention to how maybe some of you out there could have been at home one day, you could have been sleeping, and you all of a sudden woke up out of nowhere and you felt something going on. And you seen something in your mind, you seen like a vision. You had a very uncomfortable feeling in your stomach area. Like you knew something was going on, and seconds after that, you had a vision come through and you seen exactly what this individual was doing to you. That's because you were seeing that from the soul level and the ego couldn't handle that. That's why you probably more than likely felt irritated, you felt heartbroken. You feel like you couldn't handle that energy. It's because the soul can handle what it was seeing, but the ego couldn't, because the ego can never see things, I'm telling you. Your physical eyes can never truly see anything. Now, they can observe things, but they can never truly see what's going on. So when you had that vision back then, and you wonder why you was feeling uncomfortable, why that feeling feels uncomfortable like it does, it's because that is something that you're not supposed to be going through. People are not supposed to be doing that to you. And a lot of you out there are going to probably laugh at this video because you watch all these other videos out there that everybody out there just involved the best of people over, but they got people out there, brother, that's actually just like you on a spiritual level. You just got to know how to find them. And they're going to have the fakes out there too to pretend like they're all involved in spirituality. You have the spirit of discernment, though. You have the spirit of discernment. Ain't nobody out there can bullshit nothing in front your spiritual eye. You have to know how to tune in the energies, and this is exactly what the lessons were taught. That's the lessons that were taught to you because you was unaware of what people was doing to you in your past, okay? If some of you out there has ever suffered the point of having somebody in your mind continuously that was tormenting you, okay, now they have a such thing as thinking about somebody normally, like you'll think about them all the time, but when it comes to the point of thinking about somebody 24/7 and the thought of them is actually tormenting you and making you depressed and irritated, that's because that person put a fucking love spell on you. That's exactly what that is. It will come across as tormenting. It will come across as depressing. It will come across as anxious. Okay? Somebody did this to me before 3 times. I experienced that 3 times. And I couldn't understand what it was when it first happened because I wasn't experienced. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what that was in the spirit world. But what it is what they're going to do is they're going to try to bind you to this individual while having selfish reasons beyond that. These individuals are looking to try to control you. This is what you call a spiritual narcissist. And this is what some of you out there has recently uncovered about your spiritual path. And these individuals can't come anywhere as close to you. Okay? So if somebody out there tries to present themselves as friendly, kind, or they act like you could sense when they're acting or when they're genuine. This right here is going to determine whether or not you're strong enough spiritually to reject these people on a spiritual level. Because believe it or not, you don't have to say a word. You don't have to tell these people I know who you are. The way you operate spiritually, the way you know, and how you are energetically in tune with your surroundings is going to let these individuals know that you're aware. You don't have to speak any words out there. You don't have to worry about being messed over because those spirits are not going to be nowhere as allowed around in your perimeter. And this is the type of information that nobody is talking about out there. Like, they want everybody to be hopeless. But I'm here to give you faith because hope is a form of doubt. We're not here to be hopeless. We're not here to be powerless. You understand me? We're not here to feel powerless or hopeless. We're here to have faith into the universe because you had faith in yourself all this time. Look how far you came. That's the real information. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to give you some motivation, a motivational speech, and I'm going to push y'all forward. Because ain't nobody deserves to be sitting there with their head down to the ground, feeling like they're not heard, feeling like they're not understood, feeling like when a connection like it, or you're going to beat somebody in a lifetime, you will beat somebody. It's just going to happen unexpectedly. The spirit realm is aligning things for your greatest good because it already knows that you learned your lesson. So if you're somebody out there that's not just talking all this nonsense, how done with narcissism and stuff like that, but yet you still are entertaining somebody from the past, this message ain't for you. This is for somebody out there that has actually healed. You had enough of that bullshit, you're moving on in your life. This is who I'm talking to. Okay? Because believe it or not, this individual has used some type of manipulation to try to control you. Moving on to another topic, okay? I'm going to be kind of multitasking in this video. When it comes to a false twin flame that y'all could have possibly recently uncovered too, they have some type of karmic in the background that may have wanted to be with you, and they try to control you with spell work. They was also trying to control some type of illusional union, okay? This person that was your false one was involved with manipulation right along with that karmic. So if you had somebody that was interested in you and you wasn't interested in them, they were jealous because you wasn't going to get with them. And yet, you could have seen this other person, which is the false twin, as somebody that you was going to have a happily ever after with, right? Turns out they was using manipulation right along with that karmic. So what the universe is going to do is, it's going to beat, how can I explain this in detailed form? The universe is working in your favor to play both of these individuals, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Everybody that thought that you was a loser, or everybody out there that thought that they can outsmart you, you literally outsmarted all these people. Because believe it or not, they got somebody out there right now that's just as spiritual as you, that may be watching you in silence and don't want to give off signs or none of that. They want to keep it a mystery because they know the enemy is watching. They know the enemy is lurking in the shadows, I'm telling you. But at the same time, you have this strong telepathic connection with this person, and you can't understand where that's coming from. It's because the universe is going to make sure that the enemies are defeated, that they can't interfere with anything, because they're racking up their karma right now, okay? The spirit realm is busy protecting you like you're already protected them. But what they're doing is they're aligning something that happened behind the scenes that's not going to go against you, okay? They're aligning you and this individual to be with each other. But they want to make sure that these people right here are not going to be welcome anywhere in your perimeter to where they can't interfere with this connection. Because even though you may be a spiritual person, it's going to get irritating when you feel somebody trying to split you apart. That's going to create a lot of tension. So what the spirit room is doing right now is they're aligning something behind the scenes. It's really not giving me a clear message. But what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is the spirit room is definitely aligning something in the background to happen to where you have to continuously fight for your connection, and the spiritual person's not going to be able to fight either, okay? Like, to fight to potential connection because they're going to be relentless in trying to destroy you, okay? So this is what they're working on to see what they're doing, what the enemy is doing to where they can trap them completely and to train them on a spiritual level, okay? This is what you call spiritual imprisonment, all right? The higher power has had enough. God has said enough. To the people out there that didn't believe that he's real, they're about to have a rude awakening because he has been sitting back, but I'm telling you, the angels have been sitting back. Every bit of your ancestors has been sitting back taking notes. You know how they quit to document illusions down or to document something down? They sit there, they sit back and they watch. God watching them watch what they're trying to block for you. God watching what they're trying to manipulate behind the scenes. But he's also moving you out the way, bro, while they're plotting, even before the thought comes to their fucking head. God is removing you out of those type of boxes before they even get started with it. How they like that? God is already 500,000 steps ahead of these individuals. He's already in their head because he created the vessel. They just chose to go against you and to not believe in him and to sell their soul. This is something that God already knows. He already knows what they're about to do, bro. I'm telling you. That's why you had the ability to discern what you felt on the spirit level whenever you was getting cheated on. That's how come you're not crazy. You could have told this to your friend. Your friend probably would have laughed at you. Oh, man, you crazy, man. You ain't really, you just see shit. Okay, then how come you uncover the fact that it was the truth? What you seen that person doing in your mind's eye, bro, was exactly what was going on. If you're a psychic watching this message, that's exactly what happened to you. Every bit of the scripture that you seen in that vision is exactly what went on. You didn't have to see with your physical eyes. I'm telling you, that's exactly what has happened. It don't matter how many times it's denied. The truth is going to be denied, but you've seen the truth for what it is. And some of you out there couldn't believe it. Whenever you seen it, it's like you wanted to distrust your own judgment. Like, am I really seeing shit, or am I just seeing something like that? Look, you seen that happen. You seen that. You didn't have to be there physically to see it, but you seen that happen. There's a reason why your soul felt highly uncomfortable. That's all the proof evidence that you need right there, bro. When something don't set right in your gut area, something going on, something ain't right somewhere. And if for you to get a vision right after that, that's confirmation. It was messing your soul over, bro. I'm telling you, your soul didn't connect to that. You know what I'm saying? Your soul wasn't meant to go through that, but it was in a sense, so you can learn your lesson. Okay?
Abuse and prison population, and now sex.